This week, we chat to Naughty Dog about the upcoming release of Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Mike Notridge digs through his Videogame Shoebox and dusts off a copy of Mega Man X. And we get up to speed on the brand new Master of Orion, thanks to Wargaming. This is Player Attack. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen, and this week, big things are afoot in the world of esports. First up, Valve unceremoniously fired the host of the Shanghai Major Dota 2 tournament this past weekend, with company head Gabe Newell calling him an ass. James Harding, better known as 2GD, wasn't necessarily fired for his behaviour at the Shanghai event specifically. There has been bad blood between him and Valve for months now, but we're guessing that swearing and making masturbation references and homophobic jokes on the official livestream didn't really help his job prospects. And jumping from one Valve title to another, the publisher has officially thrown its weight behind the esports side of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, pledging a prize pool of $1 million for each major tournament, starting with Columbus in late March. Previously, the company provided $250,000 in prizes, but now it observes that professional CSGO has grown and the CSGO Major Championships are about to grow with it. And sticking with Valve but moving away from esports, the publisher wants to know if your computer can handle VR. Now that the Vive headset has been priced and dated, that's $800 US and early April with pre-orders open now, everybody's wondering whether or not they'll be able to use the new hardware. Thanks to a special Portal-themed tool, you won't be wondering long. It's not the first VR-ready tester. Oculus has one for the Rift that simply tells you yes or no, but it is the most comprehensive we've seen. The tool uses a 2-minute sequence from Valve's Aperture Robot Repair VR demo to measure individual PCs. Data collected will determine whether the system can run VR content at the recommended 90 FPS, and it can tune visual fidelity at that level. If your PC fails the test, which, let's face it, it might, the tool can also tell you where the problem is: your graphics card, your CPU, or both. And let's stick with PC gaming for a little while longer. The nice folks at Bandai Namco have announced a pretty sweet deal for Dark Souls fans. Pre-purchase the game on Steam before it launches on April 12 and you'll get a $5 discount if the system detects you have the original Dark Souls, Dark Souls 2 or Scholar of the First Sin in your library. The games don't need to be installed, but unfortunately the discounts don't stack, so you'll save $5 whether you've got one game or all of them. The news follows the announcement that Dark Souls 3 on Xbox One will also net you a free backwards compatible version of the original Dark Souls when you pre-order, so it looks like the Microsoft platforms might be praising just that little bit harder. And speaking of Dark Souls, there is a new game on the block, Slashy Souls. No, really. Bandai Namco is quick to point out that the game, out now for iOS and Android, is not an official sequel. Moving right along, and there is new Pokemon on the way. Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon were revealed in a short but super sweet Nintendo Direct, and the games are due out by the end of the year. Details for these two will be revealed in the fullness of time, but at this stage we can confirm that if you played Pokemon Red, Blue or Yellow, you will be able to import your Pocket Monsters into the new game directly via the bank. Remember, 2016 is the 20th anniversary of the Pokemon franchise, so don't expect the fun Nintendo announcements to dry up anytime soon. Another fun announcement you can probably expect this year is about Battlefield 5. EA has already confirmed that the game is in development but hasn't revealed any details yet. That said, Swiss retailer World of Games might have spilled the beans, updating its online store with an entry for Battlefield 5, a multiplayer tactical shooter due out in October of this year. That's not really that exciting until you read the other part of the description. Apparently, this multiplayer tactical shooter is set during the First World War. It's been a good week for slaps on the wrist. While uploading information to retailers is something that happens unfortunately frequently, someone at Naughty Dog has done something just a little bit more embarrassing. The latest trailer for Uncharted 4 was released this week, and in amongst the jaw-droppingly gorgeous graphics was something that looked a little familiar. A painting on the wall of Nathan Drake's house depicts a beautiful beach with a natural stone arch. And it just happens to be a piece of concept art from Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Naughty Dog quickly apologised to Ubisoft developers and artists, describing the issue as a regrettable mistake, which they take full responsibility for. Within hours, the original trailer had been taken offline and replaced with a new one, identical except for that one piece of artwork. And finally this week, a movie making the jump to video games rather than the other way around. Kevin Smith has announced that Jay and Silent Bob are set to feature in a colourful side-scrolling tag team beat-em-up named Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch. It's been inspired by games like Marvel vs. Capcom and Donkey Kong Country and features Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith in their trademark roles. One interesting mechanic is Convo Combo. It's kind of like insult sword fighting from Monkey Island, and the aim is to break your opponent in a psychological way. Or perhaps you might like to use flattery and persuasion to avoid the fight and make new friends. Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch is the latest project to use Tim Schafer's Fig crowdfunding platform. You can go pledge your hard-earned dollars anytime before March 31st. The game itself isn't due until February 2018. For more information on any of these stories, or to keep up to date with the latest gaming news, head to playerattack.com. But for now, stick around, we've got plenty more still to come.